Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon, as these shows are basically funded by my supporters on Patreon. So massive shout outs to Adrian Quintana, Alistair Main, Billy Highvault, Burn Fat Till My Stomach Is As Flat As The Earth, Chow Yun Cat, Dank, Dave Rakia Gafford, David Wayne Foster, Edwin Johnson, Felix Hung, Fireball X, God Rockin, Jeranism, Kirsten Smith, Life Is Short, Matt, Naibai, Qatar Craig, Reinhardt, Renee, Sally Ballis, Sam Hine, Skeptic936, Texas Mike, theflatearthchannel.com, Tina Baker, and Tom Hawkins. Massive shout outs to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now, I do have a couple of people in the G Plus Hangout, but owing to a OBS update and me going through everything with a fine-tooth comb, we are a little bit late starting, so I'm going to join the Discord server and leave you with the dulcet tones of whoever is in the G Plus Hangout while I do just that. Hello.
Good morning.
I'm not actually in the live stream yet for Discord, so I'm just going to go and sort that out. I shouldn't be too long. There was an OBS update, so whenever that happens, I typically have issues, so I've gone through it all with a really fine-tooth comb, checked everything, double-checked it, restarted a few times, all that kind of crap.
Do what you gotta do.
I've done what I needed to do. I'm all done now.
Oh, okay. Got your coffee?
Yeah? Well, I intentionally now do that first, because I find that I'll just run out of time and then I get annoyed if I don't have my coffee.
Yeah, as you say. And I'll leave you to hear the dulcet tones of the panel while I get my coffee, and then nobody talks.
You got it. I think Discord's working now. Matthias is in there. Let's just see if I can raise the mic on him. Hey, Matthias, can you hear us? Matthias?
Yeah, I hear you.
Ah, brilliant. Oh, well, that's a relief. It's not really a relief. I knew it would all work, having just spent 25 minutes making sure it would. But yeah, still, nice to hear your voice.
Thank you.
Hey, Matthias, welcome.
Hey, thanks. Was the demolition of Xanax, was that yesterday's episode?
No, it was actually Friday. It went out yesterday, though, yes. It was pre-recorded on Friday.
Nah.
By the subscribers who'll be... listened to by the subscribers who'll be watching this right now, because weekday shows go out as the Uncut and After Show on my second channel. I would say subscribe below, but the only people watching this will be already subscribed to the second channel, because that's where this goes out. But that particular show on a Friday goes out live on the second channel at the usual time, i.e. 2 PM UK, and then I rebroadcast the Uncut After Show and the live bit that's in between on the Sunday.
Yeah, I like your 3 little toe tag short videos you put out over the weekend.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do all of them since they were recorded. So one was recorded on Thursday and the other was recorded on Friday. And ever since they were recorded, I've been meaning to trim them out as like special shows. I've just not had an opportunity to do it. My eldest is just being a bit of a nightmare at the moment, screaming her head off a lot of the time. So unfortunately, it just hasn't been possible over the weekend. But I managed to, well, I did it with screaming kids around me today. It was very stressful, actually.
Well, you should be able to do it under all types of noise and pressure. With the ballers, you're trained. You're constantly doing it.
Not really. The main problem with that is that the kids are always going to take priority over any work that I'm doing, regardless of how important it is. So they're not generally around. My wife's looking after them when I do the show, so I can obviously give whoever I'm debating my utmost attention. But when it's other ancillary work like that, trimming out little sections that are key or important sections, then no, I'll just stop doing it. That's why it took so long, and they all just came out at once.
Yeah, I meant that as a compliment, that you're able to tolerate the baller so much. It gives you so much patience with your kids.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Said kids can easily push you to your last nerve quicker than any baller can.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But but they're great.
Of course. Mainly when they're
So
ill.
let's all give
When
a
they're
shout
ill,
out
pain,
to for
'cause they're
Columbus today, because he discovered a place that had already been discovered.
I only get a certain allotment of fucks, Matthias. So try not to churn through them all in one go.
What?
I'm not suggesting for a second that you swore just then, but I've been meaning to say it since the last time you were on.
I think he said something about
Oh, did I?
Columbus Day.
Hold on, Tentan.
Well, to me, a word is just a word. Just because society labels, you know, the F bomb a bad word doesn't mean that the F bomb's a bad word.
I'm not saying it is.
A word's.
I'm not saying it is. Far from it. Forget my social opinion on the word fuck. I'm saying that typically there's almost, I don't know this for a fact, it's not in the guidelines, it's very vague in fact, but going by other videos that I watch that have swearing in them that are still, worthy of advertising, and let's be honest, I am here to earn money, I've never denied it, I just don't want my videos demonetized by having 25 of them, when I can probably only get away with about 10, maybe 5.
Yeah, that's all good. I don't even realize I say it half the time.
No, it's part of your speech. That's why I didn't stop you. I've deliberately not mentioned it until the next time. So, when you're passionate about what you're talking about, and that's just how your language works, which is fine. My rule of not swearing isn't actually to stop people from swearing, although in this instance, if it's a bit excessive, then I'll have this conversation. It's actually, normally when people are triggered, they'll start swearing because they're triggered, as opposed to it's just part of their speech and that's just how they talk, which was the case with you. So it's part of the rule, so it's my almost excuse to kick people out when they're triggered so much that they're swearing their head off. I can just say, oh, it's because you're swearing. Whereas I'm never going to remove people just because they drop an F-bomb here and there. Although I'd prefer they didn't, because, everyone gets me closer to the video not being suitable for all.
Yeah, that's completely understandable, man. I mean, I didn't mean any dis.
No, I'm not moaning. Like I say, that's just your way of speaking. But unfortunately, it's me speaking on behalf of YouTube almost, because it's not my platform. Yes, this is my channel, but ultimately it's their platform, their rules, and to a certain extent, they don't want heavy, excessive, bad language. And neither would I. It makes me cringe because I swear all the time. I'm the biggest hypocrite in this regard, and I know I am. And again, I'll never deny it. That's just the way I speak. Sometimes I swear. But then somebody from the audience will in some way or form contact me and say, oh yeah, well I listen to it with my kids, and I'm like, oh god, I'm so sorry about all the swearing, and they're like, oh no, they laugh, and I'm like, yeah, I know you're telling me that, but it still makes me cringe. So every time I hear it, I try and moderate my language, and it lasts about 48 hours. Yeah, I intentionally remove my kids so they don't have to listen to me if I'm effing and blinding. They don't have to be subject to it. They're not in the same room. So hearing that other people's kids are listening to it is almost as bad. And things have been a bit more relaxed recently. I think basically because we're winning. They haven't got any rebuttals and haven't had for several years. It's quite a cushy position to be in. What's the worst you've got to deal with? Oh, we're going to stick our heads in the sand and not come off mute when we're on your show. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, no. Oh, the shame.
Yeah, that seems to be their MO currently, is to just occupy the chat room and not come on live until the show's over, and then they jump on Discord and start rumpusing.
Right. I mean, maybe it's a tactic to stop anybody else coming on and arguing with us, because if they can fill up the room, and during the live show, I want the show to be... I don't want that Discord room fairly limited. I want to be able to keep control of it. So it's about 16 participants, about the amount I can see on screen at one time, just so that there's not some random person off mic that I can't see in the list of people, causing audio chaos. So for that reason, I think part of their tactic is to just stop any normie who comes on that goes, oh, well, I'd like to challenge their position in regards to the sky vacuum. Space is obviously real. We've got NASA or something like that. And they just want to stop those people coming on so that their, baseless assertions aren't challenged.
What they don't realize is that we also read chat. And reading chat, I saw George Netanyahu say, we're going to boycott the show and starve it. Well, they don't realize we have almost 1,000 shows. All we got to do is replay one of their points and just go over it again.
Speaking of which, I'd like you to play a 10-minute piece, Nathan, about 30 minutes in. Is that all right?
Are you kidding?
No.
What's the piece?
It's on Toady.
You want to play Toadie's toe tag?
Not the whole. No, not the first one that we did.
Have you got a link to it?
I just put it in the chat. It's 10 minutes long.
I can't get to the side chat. Can you put it in Master B by any chance?
What about Skype?
Anywhere in Skype. It'll just pop up as the top of the list.
Yeah, it also has the ending of, you ended the show at 8 minutes, but it goes on to 10 minutes. I'd like you to play the whole thing, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. I'll just scrub through the outro, if that's what you're saying.
Say again?
I'll just scrub through the outro, so I don't want the audience to see me giving an outro telling them to sod off.
Right. That's why I said about 30 minutes in.
Halfway through the show.
Yeah, but they'll get just tell them before you play it. Don't go anywhere afterwards.
Okay. Okay, I've got your link now. Let's just let's got 10 minutes. Let's get this queued up and stuff. Oh damn! Wrong place. That'll do. Okay. So what's the timestamp?
It's just started at 0.
Start it at 0.
Yeah, because it starts right at 0.
No, you said it was 30 minutes into it.
No,
30 minutes into this live show, the video I just gave him started at 0. Fuck.
Okay. Where we have the pre-show and after-show. Hopefully that's bought John enough time to bring up his third presentation.
Yeah, the third one is someone sent this to me, and this is from Toadley Liley. His experiment.
God damn it.
I think he's one of the knuckleheads on Jose's
Something's
show.
going wrong with my...
His
I knew there'd be an issue.
So I'll just read the first 3
What's
lines.
that?
An issue with the
Or
sound.
the first 4.
Can't you hear
What
that?
is the Lake test using
I can hear it.
scientific method and approach?
It's going
The
wrong.
Lake test is a test. Really? A little bit redundant there, don't you think? As follows.
Why is it?
We can hear it.
I know you can hear it. it's showing up fine on the line. It's just not coming out for me correctly. So we'll risk it for a biscuit.
What do you mean it's not coming out for you?
Last time I did an OBS update, it corrupted my desk. And this time I've checked all the connections are correct, but it's doing the same thing. In other words, it slowly and progressively drops the audio for me locally. I don't know why, it's just weird. But from what I can see on the levels, it's going out to you and the audience okay. So I'll just risk it. I'll reset and I'll do any corrections needed later.
Is it a banana issue?
It's a confliction with Banana and OBS. It happens every time I update OBS. There was an update today.
Oh, so there's an update to OBS. I haven't opened OBS. Let me open it up.
Oh, don't. Just wait till after.
No, I want to see if there's an update. Yeah, there is.
I just told you that.
So
did you not believe me?
Oh fuck! I shouldn't have even fucking opened it.
That's what I just said.
What's it gonna do?
Update OBS.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, God. The cause and effect issue, John.
I can always hit remind me later.
You can. That would be what I would do at this stage.
Yeah, because I got a show tomorrow. I don't want it messing with my stuff, so remind me later.
I don't have time to mess with these things. Even with 20 minutes of fiddling, knowing that it had been updated, I'm still going to have an issue. And that suggests to me I might have an issue with Discord as well, because it's attached to the same line. Ah, maybe that's something I haven't checked. Let's check that. Be an issue with Discord. In fact, I think that's more likely.
A lot of OBS updates recently.
Yeah. Voice and video, here we go. There, that's the problem. Check. Can you hear me in Discord? Can somebody say something, please?
I hear you in Discord.
That's good. Try this video again.
Following the views of scientific expedient.
Excellent.
That was the issue?
Yeah, it was a conflict between Discord. The Discord line shares the same line with my audio for videos and things, and if there's a conflict there, it just progressively drops my volume to the point where I can't hear anything, but I've fixed it. It's fine.
So I should have updated OBS when I had to.
No. I'm not saying you should have updated it. When you do update it, just go back and check Discord and make sure that the connections are set correctly for voice meter. It just seems to reset them and go back to default in Discord after your OBS update. It makes no sense to me, but that's what it does.
Well, we can do that with our quality time. That's my second point. We're going to have to shift quality time to Wednesdays.
Okay.
Yeah, our quality time on Wednesday will be recording in OBS.
Press record. It's easy.
Yeah, I figured you were going to say that. Yeah, I got a couple more questions.
Okay.
Too funny. I think it was another point, but I forgot it.
5 minutes. We'll go.
Oh, I know the next point. When are we going to do the switch?
What switch?
Time switch.
I'm waiting on Ranty. He's always Ranty that's going to hold these things up because he's the one that faffs us around in those regards. So, just down to Ranty saying when he's going to go back live because he's got internet issues at the moment.
Right, but he already said go for it. So,
I'm happy to change now. But
ideally, why don't we just do it Wednesday?
Change on Wednesday.
Yeah, just change on that. Give him a couple days for you to talk to him too. But he's already said in the message thread that he doesn't care.
Yeah, that's not the reaction I want. if he's like, oh, I don't care, do what you like. It's like, no, he doesn't seem to. That means he doesn't appreciate that we're only doing it to accommodate him.
Right.
If he doesn't care, it's like, well, no worries then. Just let's keep stepping on each other's toes and sharing viewers at the same time slots. But
Well, I might be mischaracterizing that. Hold on.
fair enough.
He says works for me.
Oh, that's very different. Works for me. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Okay. Yeah. We'll just change on Wednesday. I'll do a little advert if I get enough chance to do it. I'll put together an advert. Otherwise, I'll say now to those of you listening, there'll be a slight schedule change. Me and Quantum Erase will move back an hour, so it'll be 1 p.m. Central Standard and 7 p.m. UK for Quantum Eraser's channel, and then typically they last about an hour. So I will try and go on after at 8 p.m. So a couple of hours moving back for me to 8 p.m. And then when that finishes at 10 p.m, Ranty will start his show on a Tuesday. Well, Monday. I don't know what days. That's what I asked him last, actually.
Right.
Whatever days, so I can plug them properly. Ranty will go after the Uncut and After show.
So Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for me, 1 p.m. US Central, 7 p.m. UK.
Precisely. And then I'll be 2 p.m. your former time, Central, and then 8 p.m. UK.
What if my stuff goes over sometimes? No big deal.
No big deal. Typically, I know because I see what you've trimmed out, so I know roughly what time they'll be, even if I don't ask. But if there's like a massive overlap, so last Saturday I was in the chat of Ballbusters, and you were like, "Yeah, this lasts longer," so I just put the time back. And most of the time, there's not going to be an overlap. If it does happen to overlap by half an hour, you and I, and then let's say I do a 2.5 hour after show instead of 2 hour, then I'll be overlapping with Ranty by half an hour. But that's not the end of the world. But when literally both shows start at 10 p.m, that's no good at all.
Right. So now you're going to have to do a little bit more than a token show up.
Token show up? You mean in your live chat?
Yeah. I've been laughing about that for weeks, man. I just want to let you know.
Yeah, I'm normally doing something like the dishwasher.
Yeah, I know. It just strikes me as hilarious.
Okay, let's get this live show on the road. Reset my focus.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Chocolate, how's it going?
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Shut up.
What?
Wow.
Wow. No need. Right, let's just check this camera's in focus. I'll watch the show back. The bloody camera's out of focus. Going to be a minute late just so I can make sure I'm in focus for a change. No. Right, let's do this.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion right here, right now, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Quantum Eraser, Chocolate Saiyan, Flatzoid, and 10th man, I believe, in G+. Very good to have you all.
Good afternoon. How's it going?
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. We're also joined by, I know, half a dozen or so people in Discord. Very good to have you also. Super enthusiastic Discord server. Any signs of Earth curvature?
Not from
Go flat and
Nope.
not from New Jersey.
To be fair, only Matthias was off mute. My bad, Discord, sorry. Not your fault.
Good afternoon.
Hello, God Scalpel, Matthias, Earth-Shaped Investigator, Dougie, and Darren.
Good afternoon.
So, any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Nope.
That's a definite no.
Nope.
Like Paul's having a few internet issues. Hey, Paul.
Well, yeah, the link.
Show up in Skype. I may have to reset. I was just checking to see if you guys are over here.
Yeah, all is well, all is working, in spite of an OBS update. Any scientific evidence of gravity?
No such thing.
Just a concept.
Don't let it get you down, mate.
Don't let
I
Gravity
just
doesn't
posted
exist.
I'll try not to.
Hello.
Gravity doesn't
Yeah.
exist. It's just a made-up word.
I just
Any
posted
evidence?
a quote from NASA explaining that they don't have a clue about what
They don't have a clue what gravity is, did you say?
that's NASA's word.
But
You're clipping.
Evidence of the
They're
distance to the
still
sun?
searching. They're still searching for what has to be there in order for their cosmology to work. That's it.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
No.
Nope.
No apparent distance.
Any evidence of a
How
self
about what the sun is made of?
Yeah. I don't think the sun
About
is
what?
made of
What the
anything.
sun is made of?
Stay tuned. I'm going to put a presentation together on spectroscopy. It's like 3 years too late. And if you thought evolution was a train wreck belly laugher, then somebody hold evolution's beer. Because what we got coming is spectroscopy or spectroscopy. They can't even say the friggin' word. Wait till you see this. Ha!
So it's not made of hydrogen and helium or whatever and so on and so forth?
I think it's made of light.
It certainly seems that way.
Uh-huh.
Can you be made of light?
Well, it certainly
And,
appears so.
Yeah, the light that comes from it takes like, a few million or billion years because of the gravity of the sun before it actually emerges and then takes the 8 minutes to come to our eyes. So, yeah, quite a bit going on there.
Where'd you get that number?
That's what they say.
Sorry, you lost me at gravity.
That's what they say. He's correct.
Wouldn't the number, that 8 minutes, be based on transit of Venus, bounce, radii bounce, presuppositions of Venus being the same size as
No.
Earth, Earth being a
No,
sphere?
he's talking about something else. He's talking about photons in the core and in a radiative zone bouncing around for about 1 million years before they get released.
Yeah, and then take 8 minutes to get to us, based on presuppositions of a sphere-shaped Earth, Venus being a sphere same size as Earth, application.
Yeah, and they also call it a black body too. Just wait, man. Just wait.
Black body? I've not... What? The sun?
Yeah, they say it's a black body emitter, but just hold off. Just move on.
Oh,
There's
okay.
nothing to see here.
Nothing
just
to
yet.
see here, folks. Nothing to see. Okay. Any evidence?
Oh man, you got us all in suspense now. I'm hanging on to the hydrogen and helium. Don't take that away from me, man. Not the hydrogen and helium.
Hanging on as you ascend with relative density.
Hey, John, look at my screen. You remember that thing I was playing on Friday? This is from the Colorado State University. So if this will help any in your illustration, just let me know.
Yeah, in fact, I just had this or a graph just like this. That was a transparency that I have to hook up, but it's ironic that you would pull this up. Yeah, so the ideal black body is the gold line, and the sun is, yeah, it just went off, is the rainbow colors. But thanks anyway. I'll get it hooked up.
Yeah, I'll drop that link in there just in case you want to play with it or use it or whatever. I'll drop it in the Skype.
Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
Never.
So how can the sun be
Still
hydrogen?
waiting for demonstrations otherwise.
Just walk outside.
Hold on, it sounds like
So how can the sun be hydrogen gas in a vacuum? Huh?
Can't,
A ball of hydrogen gas in a vacuum.
Can't be.
Right?
Can't be.
Easy, John, it can't.
This is the other simulator that was in that same website, so it's kind of funny. Colorado State University has these simulators going on, so I'll drop that one as well.
What happens with a gas when you open the container? I've got it on screen, Paul.
It disperses.
Oh, he's pumping it up. Did he just blow the lid off?
No, that was Maxwell's demon.
No, I actually, I was going to tell you, this is actually a simulator, so it's not really a video. I'm actually manipulating everything on the screen that you're seeing. So
No.
I can increase the temperature.
There was me thinking there was me thinking that was a real fire and...
Well, I know, yeah. You can also cool it down. if you want to do Kelvin or Celsius, you can put more in here. Watch this. This is fun. If you put a bunch in here, you increase the temperature. Watch what happens to the lid. Boop, it pops.
Very good.
Hey, send that to Hillbilly Blue Balls, the redneck retard.
Okay. I'm going to keep these in the background anytime this discussion ever comes up. I'm going to have them up, ready to go.
So, any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No.
I think they stopped arguing that, I think, on the globe side. The more proficient globers aren't really talking about the so-called molten iron core. I think they've moved on from that. They've given up on that, I think.
It's part of their rhetoric.
They don't have much to add to it.
I like
really
how it's
did.
described by way of men in trenches who come here to argue. So, right, they've given up on that very specific and detailed part of their presuppositional rhetoric of a sphere. Oh, I don't care. It's part of their rhetoric.
Yep.
To the point where it's taught to school children still.
And there are no takebacks.
Right. There's no, oh, we don't like that bit of the rhetoric. Our religion doesn't really need that when we argue it. Yeah, it's part of your rhetoric.
Yeah, ignore it now and move on to the next topic. That's all they
Next
do.
topic kind of includes the last, though. Any evidence of the R value, the presuppositional radius, attributed to all of these proofs of an Earth that's spherical.
Yeah, Armin and here. Just too much assumptions.
Shout out
Nathan,
to...
can't you just look? Can't you just measure the stars in the sky and come up with the radius? Ain't that the way it works?
That's what they do. Shout out to David Rakia Gafford. Pass. I'm on mute. Globe Troll, share your pain, Rakia life. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat, David Rakia Gafford.
Mine all in one.
Was there a? I thought there was a NASA something about a satellite that finally measured the radius or the shape of the Earth or something properly.
Where was
I
the
could have been
satellite?
mistaken.
Where was the satellite?
Somewhere doing measurement stuff out there.
Where specific? Up there? Where's up there?
Wherever they say it is, low Earth orbit, geostationary, in between the Lagrange point or Jupiter, I don't know, whatever they say it is.
What's the region that it's apparently in, according to them?
Violation of so on and so forth. Narnia.
Oh, they're claiming it's the satellite that's measuring the radius is in space, outer space, a second law of thermodynamics violation, a sky vacuum. That's definitely not true then.
Yeah, it's
No,
interesting
Nathan,
how it hasn't been done until recently. I got to try and find that. I'm not sure if I'm mistaken, but I think it says finally they've measured. I don't know. Let me check that out.
But
Yeah,
Nathan, there's differential pressure up there. Come on, that's the vacuum. It's differential pressure. Come on, you understand this, don't you?
It's a scalar.
But what's pressing on top of that?
It's a scalar.
Yeah, without the container, there can be no pressure. So a delta is irrelevant. To have gas pressure in the first instance, you'd require a container. Their alleged containerless gas that we have here on Earth, next to this medium they claim this satellite in, violates natural law. Gas law.
Gas law and the second law of thermodynamics. So it's taking two, not just one. There's probably a boatload of other ones with it.
Well, wait a minute, though. There's theory that we've practically theorized it out, and there's this law thing. They work together somehow. And, we've come up with this scalar, high dimension, whatever you want to call it.
It's got a vector.
Got a vector, yes.
That's
Well,
nice.
you have one gas particle floating around in your simulator.
It's down to the last particle, is it?
Yeah, it's almost leaving.
So
Yeah,
something I've been hearing.
Pray silence. Hold
I've
on.
heard
Sorry,
during
chocolate.
the weekend.
Hold on. Sorry.
And it's out.
Hold on, Owen. So pray silence for what would happen if Earth was in a vacuum. See that last little dot disappearing into the sky vacuum? That's what would happen. The gas would fill the space.
Yeah, and the temperature also went from 0 to no temperature reading. Did you notice that switch?
No.
Very bad
right now.
news.
Let's put it that way.
Here, I'll give you some more gas to play with. Hang on. We'll observe some more gas. Bear with me.
What, to
There we
observe
go.
also...
I wanted to bring up something I heard over the weekend was that apparently Globers are thinking that the second law of thermodynamics doesn't apply to our system because it only applies to an isolated system. Can we go through that one more time for the people that that don't understand that entropy is actually a thing?
Come on, natural law is selective.
First,
Not going through it again.
I don't mind. First, we'll just describe the fallacy that they're using. It's called special pleading. This natural law doesn't apply to my religious sky vacuum belief. Therefore, the sky is a vacuum. Special pleading. Also, circular reasoning as used by Zanuck in this last example. Just published today as a little trimmed out clip. So, pointing at the sky vacuum and saying, well, it doesn't necessarily apply, because here we have, look, sky vacuum, look, I'm pointing at it. My fundamentalist religious belief in this sky vacuum is proven by me pointing at it. Circular reasoning. So it's either special pleading or circular reasoning. Them asserting that the isolated system used to describe this particular law, in this instance the second law of thermodynamics, a closed system isn't necessarily going to be compared to an isolated system that doesn't exist in nature. Equally, there is no ideal gas. It's an oversimplification to describe the parameters of gas in general, and you simplify it to make it applicable everywhere. Not so that you can say, oh, well, if you're only describing gas law with ideal gas and you're only describing the second law of thermodynamics with isolated systems, then they don't apply to my religious belief in a sky vacuum. That's special pleading. The isolated systems may not apply in nature, only apply in the example to simplify it, not because they don't apply to open or closed systems. They absolutely do. It's just a way of describing it simplistically. Same goes for ideal gas law. We have no ideal gas. Does that mean that this law doesn't apply to gas? Absurd.
But, I don't know if you noticed
that was exactly my point. Thank you very much.
I don't know if you noticed how fast I pumped this.
Good timing, Paul. Go ahead. Go ahead, Paul.
I was just saying, I don't know if you noticed, I put more gas in this container, and from the length of your conversation, we're back down to one particle. Now imagine if there was no walls on this container, what would happen?
What if it just had the floor? Oh, it wouldn't even retain this single particle. It would just instantaneously fill the available volume.
Right, exactly.
I'm thinking now, imagine it was like it with the dynamics. As all the air is coming up, you're busy trying to catch all the air to breathe as it's escaping.
Just
imagine everybody jumping around. I gotta breathe.
Just in case anybody's not quite following this analogy. So we're going to pretend, for the audience only, because the guys in Hangouts can't see my mouse pointer. We'll pretend that this line at the bottom of this chamber is the ground we stand upon. So this is you. This is a little dude here, and he's standing on the ground. Now, obviously, Earth would be bent in their sphere reification. That's the first problem. That's not a big issue. But also, there's no walls. There's no sides. Yeah? Now, this is analogous to the ground in your fundy religious belief of Earth being a sphere. And this black bit here, that's the sky vacuum that you think you have. Just an empty space for this gas to fill. Now, does it do that? No, we have gas pressure. And the necessary antecedent to have gas pressure would be a container, which will now be exampled by Paul making this box, something that Earth in a sphere reification is not analogous to because it doesn't have walls or a lid. It's claimed to just be next to a sky vacuum. But if we did have gas pressure, which we do, it would mean that there'd be the necessary antecedent at play. So if you can pop a lid on it, Paul, you'll see how we achieve actual gas pressure. I don't know if Paul can hear me. Oh, here we go. So now we have a container, a fixed volume for the gas to occupy. So therefore we have gas pressure. There it is. There's the gas pressure. Now, bearing in mind that this is still analogous to the sky vacuum they claim, but in this example, to have the pressure, we need a container. Now, the reification of the heliocentric model with a world that's a sphere traversing a sun at the centre of a solar system has gas next to a vacuum. No lid, no walls, just the ground and the sky vacuum. Now, this is what debunks outer space. The sky is not a vacuum, because if it was, as Paul will now demonstrate, the gas would fill the available volume. In other words, we wouldn't have any gas pressure if the sky was a vacuum, because this is what would happen. The gas would fill the space.
Nathan, may I give the final baller rebuttal to that?
There is no rebuttal to this, Arwin, but you feel...
Yeah, you know there is one. There's always one. You want to hear it?
You're about to tell me about the bending of a conceptual medium
No,
to give rise to a...
No, gravity's not involved, actually. It's,
okay, go on.
It's a little smarter than that. No, but Nathan, look, isn't the sky actually being a vacuum the proof that the second law of thermodynamics is wrong?
Then it wouldn't be a law.
Well, maybe that is the claim.
If you're saying...
You wouldn't be breathing.
If you're saying... pointing at the sky vacuum and asserting that it is a vacuum, doesn't that violate the second law of thermodynamics? No, a baseless assertion doesn't debunk a natural law. No.
No, I have the most recent rebuttal from Toady Retard that put it under your video that you ran a few hours ago, Outer Space Debunked by Gas Law. Toady Retard commented on it. He said, this is his rebuttal. It's very simple. You assert that a container is required and you won't accept the force acting as a container. You assert you need a physical container. So then show us the container, where it is or what it's made of. Oh, you say you cannot. Shame on you. You, sir, are a certifiable retard. And we're going to show everybody here in about 10 minutes. We're going to show your first toe tag in honor of your dumbass. You're a schmuck. Thanks.
Let's open again.
I don't mind using that as a segue to do it now, unless anybody's got anything to add in Discord or otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, I never
Yeah, like-
got a proper response, though.
Go ahead, Owen. And 10th Man, go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was going to say, Paul, since you got this from the Colorado EDU site, do they have an option to show a gravity box proving their sphere, or is that not here?
I looked for it. I didn't see anything in any of these simulators that talked about gravity.
Okay,
None of the,
that's all.
none of,
Sorry, so think that you're trying to say gravity container.
Well, it's obvious
mean,
that
Isn't
this-
that weird though? That if gravity affected gas, wouldn't they have that somewhere in this little
Well,
app?
no, but the issue,
Wouldn't that
Look,
be an
the
option?
issue-
Gravity on, gravity off, because gravity is a thing.
yeah, but
Well,
chocolate.
well,
The issue with designs like this, with elaborate emulators, is as soon as you start to introduce fictional presupposed mechanisms, the simulator becomes a lot more difficult and non-fluent because it doesn't work like reality anymore.
see what they're doing here.
Oh, so
what
they're
That's
trying
why
to
they don't
deal-
do it. It's too
They're
difficult.
on the really is level right
Yeah,
now.
a machination is much more difficult to tinker out being seemingly real than just using real elements in a simple emulator.
Hey, hillbilly blue balls, redneck retard. You see this diagram on screen right now that Paul's showing you? You see that little hole at the top and how it's taken a lot of time for the gas to come up because the surface area of the container is very small. You see that? You redneck retard.
and I was gonna say something, maybe just to unpack it just a little bit more. When you, Nathan, when you say entropy is increasing, basically inside the box, the entropy is increasing. The entropy on the outside of the box is decreasing because the particles are going out, correct? Am I understanding that
That's
correctly?
entropy increase.
Do what I said again?
That's entropy increase.
Right. The box inside the entropy is increasing inside the box because the particles are escaping.
And they're increasing outside the box also.
Correct. They're increasing
Oh,
in,
okay.
they're increasing out. It's all entropy increase. You said it's decrease outside the box because it's escaping? No. That's entropy increase.
Well, that's the reason I say that is that's kind of what I've been hearing. Like the entropy of the system is static, so to speak. That's what I've been hearing from Zanuck and other people. That's the reason I wanted you to clarify that.
What they're doing is trying to juxtapose the first law with entropy.
Yes, they're trying to make it so that entropy is not actually a thing, which is why I heard, because the definition of the second law of thermodynamics is entropy in an isolated system. Oh, that means that if we don't live in an isolated system, entropy doesn't affect us. And I was like, what? What's going on? That's crazy.
Yeah, so the natural laws, the laws of thermodynamics, the principal pillar of physics from your boy Einstein doesn't apply to nature. You frigging clowns.
Well, and think about this too, and John, you would probably agree with this. Like, there's no added temperature in this, and the temperature is decreasing. But if you have this thing called the sun that is adding constant heat, watch what happens. It gets faster and faster, and the particles want to move more and more. And if I actually open this up and I keep the heat on, the process will continue even faster.
So you're saying, hold on. So you're saying the heat, analogous to the sun in this example that you're giving, is increasing entropy.
Yep.
Yeah, more energy.
Say that one more time for people like Zanuck, Nathan. What is it doing?
No, and for people like George, the Pontiff Maximus of Retardia, and Rumpus, and all their mindless parroters.
What's interesting is that this university is showing this diagram to prove natural law of how gas behaves, but they have no idea. At the same time, it's showing that you can't have gas pressure without a container in relationship to this Earth.
Any more for any more? If not, we'll. I'm gonna just so you know, in Discord, I'm gonna be deafening, muting myself, just so it doesn't cause any audio issues when I play this video. So, if anybody's got anything to say in G+, say it now.
Lest anyone forget, Toady. Hard today, retard.
Say that again. I halfway muted you just before you started. Sorry.
Lest we forget the Toady retard, the first toe tag of this crayon munching, mouth breathing knuckle dragger.
Okay, so this is a toe tag from 2 or 3 months ago, and I'm just going to play it out. You can enjoy for yourself. Third presentation.
Yeah, the third one is someone sent this to me, and this is from Toadly Lily. His experiment. I think he's one of the knuckleheads on Jose's show. His experiment. So I'll just read the first 3 lines. Or the first 4. What is the Lake test using the scientific method and approach? The Lake test is a test. Really? A little bit redundant there, don't you think? As follows. Following the views of scientific expedient. What is scientific expedient?
I think it's called word salad.
Hypothesize and falsifiable evidence. So his observation, everyone listen up. If the Earth is a globe, then why does the lake surface appear to so flat? Hypothesis. Okay, wait a second.
That's a nice
hypothesis.
observation.
The lake is flat and there is no curvature of the Earth. So let me get rid of this. I copied this. Make it easier. Let's take a look at this. Oh, so we know who we're talking about. It's this dumb animal right here. It appears he and Jesse and George.
Oh, it's a lion.
Does he have a name?
Who else identifies as a lion?
Do you have a name?
These guys are getting in cahoots, boy. Better one not.
Aslan from Narnia.
Aslan.
That's who he's. Closed thermoses are open systems. George Hanatuck. Boy, this thing is going to work out well. But this is who we're talking about here. All right, let's check this out. So I wrote this up so we could see it better. So Toady Moron here. Like I said, I just copied what he wrote. Let's go over this again. So the lake test is a test, right? So the test is a test. That's profound. As follows: following the views of scientific expediency. I don't know what that means. I've never heard that before in my life. Hypothesize. Make sure you get some spell check action going on there, brother. And falsifiable evidence. So let me run this by you one more time. The observation. If the Earth is a globe, then why does the lake surface appear so flat? ? Any comments?
Can I just answer the question? Because it's not a globe, it is in fact flat.
No. This is the observation.
Yeah, but that's not an observation.
Oh, okay. We'll go with the usual. It's not an observed phenomena.
Yeah, we're going to get to that here in a second. I thought I'd leave that out there for you. So his hypothesis: the lake is flat and there is no curvature of the Earth.
Independent variable, dependent variable, null hypothesis.
We're getting there. Okay, let's make it quick. Asshat. You'd fail 5th grade general science and a 60 level basic reasoning course. Let's take a look at this observation. If the Earth is a globe, then why does the lake surface appear so flat? So number 1, observations are not questions. Number 2, it's observe a natural phenomena and not observation. Number 3, why does the lake surface appear so flat is a concrete noun, not a phenomenon. Number 4, The natural phenomena observed is your dependent variable. So what's the dependent variable in your train wreck question observation up here? I'm going to take the liberty here in a second to figure out what it is, because there's not one, but I'm going to give them one. So, hypothesis. The lake is flat and there is no curvature of the earth. Dipshit. Scientific hypotheses are cause and effect suppositions. What's the dependent variable again? I'll tell you what. Let's use your train wreck question observation. Lake surface appears so flat. All right, we're going to use this as the dependent variable because it's the only one that's semi-coherent, even though it's not a dependent variable. We got to use something. Number 3, what's the independent variable? That is the cause of your lake surface appear so flat. Train wreck question observation dependent variable. There is no curvature of the or earth, or is there some combination thereof? So let's take a look at this. So is causes lake surface appear so flat? Is that the one? No causes lake surface appear so flat? Let's combine them. No curvature causes lake surface appear so flat? Of causes lake surface appear so flat? The causes lake surface appear so flat? Or earth causes lake surface appear so flat? Which one of these?
This is incoherent nonsense.
Say again?
Yeah, you can't pull one out. It's incoherent nonsense that doesn't have one. So you're not going to pull out an independent or a dependent variable out of this completely incoherent nonsense. But I applaud your attempt.
Yeah, I had to try something. So an easy way to tell, other than just the slap in the face incoherency, is to formulate the null. So here's the null for each of these independent variables. Does not cause lake surface appear so flat? No, does not cause lake surface appear so flat? No curvature does not cause lake surface appear so flat? Of does not cause lake surface appear so flat? The does not cause lake surface appear so flat? Or earth does not cause lake surface appear so flat? Please, we need to hear this. We need to get this ironed out before you do your test. And for the last one, and this is what I was talking about when I was priming this with Arwen. I was just screwing around yesterday and jumped in. I seen Arwen's mug on there. So I just jumped in along with Toadie's. This is what Toadie had to say. He's talking about fossils and walking along the beach. So Toadie, you walk up the beach and you see the very basic creatures at the bottom, and you walk up a bit and there is more advanced creatures. Then there is nothing for a few layers. Then there's more advanced creatures, and then pseudo dinosaurs. I'd like to know what that is. And fish. But as you walk through those layers, you can see that those layers were different elements of time. Really? So rock layers are clock. Clown show. You see this? You see all this that you're mindlessly parroting? That you tried to pull the wool over everyone's eyes? This belly laugher is a formal logical fallacy. Denying the antecedent. Follow. If P, then Q. Not P, therefore not Q. So let's just add it to your little train wreck above. If they are buried together, P, then they both existed together, Q. They're not buried together, not P, therefore they didn't exist together, therefore not Q. You see, this is what you get for parrot and wiki. So, Toadie, in conclusion, you're a certifiable Wiki Discovery Channel parroting pretender clown AAA retard. Thanks for your ear. Have a nice day.
And with that, I'll say if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley...
Observation was lake. Right. Observation was if the lake is flat.
The lake was flat. How do we make it a ball?
Love to see him vary something in that.
Because I used the opportunity to round out, John. I didn't get a chance to say great presentations. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I hope I was quick enough. I just didn't want to take a long time.
Your timing was epic. That was like almost perfect on the hour mark. I like to round out the show after an hour. The live show, I mean.
Did anyone have any comments?
It was great.
It was a good presentation. Very good.
And
No, I'm not
thanks
talking about the presentation.
And thanks
Did
for the compliment.
I liked seeing a formulated denying the antecedent. I've got to admit, as I was reading through his statement, I wouldn't have spotted that. It's because I'm so unfamiliar with denying the antecedent form a logical fallacy, but I probably wouldn't have... I obviously got it when you scrolled down and formulated it for me, but I don't think I'd have spotted that. Anybody else? Be honest. Let me just ask the panel. I don't know how well acquainted you are with that logical fallacy. Maybe this is a pointless question, but would anybody else have spotted that logical fallacy?
Yeah, if I saw the necessity of it, but to be fair, John's approach seems to me sometimes a little excessive. But yeah, correct.
You're not kidding, right? No, I was like, oh, I applaud your efforts for formulating it into the hypothesis. Then he does exactly the same with the null. It's like, that's attention to detail right there. Do it again with the null. Brilliant.
That's how you do it. That's how you figure out. Well, if it's not slapping your face stupid,
I was about to
then
say,
you just do the null.
That's rubbing it right in his face, though, isn't it? Let's do it again with the null. If not this, if not this, if not this, and just use every word in the sentence till you find that literally none of them are going to formulate a null or an alternative, because none of them have got a dependent or an independent variable. It's like the biggest train wreck ever. Cool. Very cool.
So we can still
affirm
that we don't know what our hypothesis is.
That was very weird hearing my own voice.
Toady! Retard! You're exposed again. That's only one. That's one of about 4. But I didn't want, lest we forget, I didn't want anyone to forget about it. You're welcome. Clown.
He's also a demonstrated liar. So you had, I don't know if it was on another toe tag, but you had Toady Clown's actual quoted words, then him reading back his own words and substituting them with other words that he preferred in his new rendition of a quote of himself.
Yep, that's what they do.
Oh, I'd prefer if I'd have phrased it this way, so because it's my words, I'll change my own quote.
We're at a carnival tent, man.
Oh, I'm still on server mute in Discord.
Are they off mute?
They are now, yeah.
Discordia. Come off mute and share your pain.
Kosho's here. Hey, Kosho.
I don't think you can get ballers to get off moot. Because once you go moot, you know?
What? Once you go moot, you what?
Yeah, you don't get a point back.
Okay. I think you're confusing. Once you go black, you'll never go back.
No.
I think Chocolate's about to correct you.
No, that's not what I wanted to say at all. No. It's just that going on moot, when you're moot, when your point is moot, you have no point. So
I told you.
once you go on moot, you don't get a point back. That was my point.
Once you go moot, you don't give a hoot.
That's more like it. Oh.
Ballers!
Lots of grating noises.
Come out and play!
Oh god, that's horrible.
They're gonna come out and play.
That's funny.
Oh, please stop it. It's horrible.
That's not gonna attract them, John.
Yeah, we got John is in the Warriors now.
Maybe we ask them something specific. Hey, Kosho, why don't you explain how our discussion on gas pressure is wrong?
John?
Go ahead,
John?
whoever said that. Go ahead. Can you say yes, John, just to get that conversation going?
Yes.
How are any of you guys still flat earthers after being gutted and proven wrong over and over?
By who?
Calm down. Calm down. Go ahead. What's your claim, my friend? What's your name, first of all? Is it Bryden?
Hello.
I mean, if I was embarrassed and proven wrong, I wouldn't just keep saying the same wrong stuff.
Well, apparently you are.
Let's not get into this back and forth about nonsense. Do you have anything to claim?
So all he has is nuh-uh.
Flat Earth
You're wrong.
is any useful information.
Flat Earth, flat Earth.
You got anything coherent, bro? Is that what you got? Oh, you guys are wrong. Tell us what you got. Share your pain, brother.
He's got straw man.
Flat Earth has never produced any useful
Got a
information
shed
for
full of
society.
hay. That's what he's
Hold
got.
on. Go ahead.
Satellites prove orbits and gravity in spherical Earth.
Excellent. Now we're talking. Excellent. Where are the satellites?
If I were wrong over and over, I wouldn't just keep repeating the same wrong, embarrassing stuff.
Although you said that exact same sentence like 4 times now.
Guys, why is it that you want to rise to his complete distraction from his now claim that he's made and address that? I asked a question in response to your claim that satellites prove a spherical Earth. My question was, where, specifically, are those satellites? Over.
The heliocentric model on spherical Earth perfectly predicts solar eclipses in the ground tracks.
Sorry,
Is this a
did you not hear my question? Are you deaf?
This sounds like a recording or something.
Recording.
Like somebody being stupid.
No, I think people
Looks like we're
really
gonna have
are
red
All
herring
evidence
for
is based
breakfast.
on the celestial sphere.
Sorry, are you saying that the satellites are in the heliocentric model? Because that was my question, and your answer was the heliocentric model works, or words to that effect. So are you saying the satellites are in a model?
Henry Cavendish isolated the force of gravity and measured it directly.
Are you just
Ask him what his. Hold on a second. Hold on a
You
second.
may be
Ask him
right
what his,
about the recording.
Hey, Arwen, hold on a second. Ask him what his favorite color is.
What's your favourite colour?
Indigo.
Ah, I thought I'd catch him.
Braden, do you want a cracker, bud?
So do you want to focus on one of these assertions, or do you just want to keep spewing endless assertions and not addressing any rebuttals?
I think he must have designed a flow chart right in front of him to keep just general factoids right in reach,
Oh,
so he doesn't have to Google it all the time.
So far,
Did you say gravity is a force?
All maps are based on a sphere, and they're accurate.
Hey, there he goes again. I think he's just using the tape and then over talking it.
No. He's
Keep
got a
him on
flow
the same
chart.
question about the satellites.
He's got a flow chart of data, and he's not shy to go and red herring every single question we ask.
So far, we've had an assertion. It's had a rebuttal that's been ignored. Now, I'm not content to just listen to endless baseless assertions ignoring every rebuttal. I want to start at the first point that you made. Satellites prove it's a sphere, Earth that is. and we'll go from there. If you can't handle any rebuttal, then I'm just going to have to remove you because you're clearly just here to spew rhetoric, rather than address any rebuttal that comes your way after any claim you make.
The horizon drops as you go up in altitude, and you can use this fact to measure the radius of the Earth.
Bye-bye, lard ass.
You're not engaging in us. What you're doing is spewing rhetoric and ignoring any challenge to the rhetoric and moving on to the next piece of rhetoric that you want to spew here.
What a debate.
Nathan Oakley fails at debate and has to mute people because he's a pussy.
You're not getting muted.
Wow.
You aren't addressing any rebuttals.
Is that Timmy? You can debate anyone.
Who it is. So far, he's made a baseless assertion. Several of them, in fact. And when we try to address them, he ignores it and moves on.
Yes, let's make it simple. Let him choose someone to debate, and we try again.
Well, no,
Equatorial mounts are designed based on the spherical Earth, and they work perfectly at tracking all objects.
Just baseless assertion. It's clear that if we try to engage you in any of these baseless assertions, you will ignore all rebuttals as demonstrated. So, are you simply a religious zealot here to spew rhetoric? Because that is precisely what you are doing.
Can I say something real
Earth
quick,
has been
Nathan?
proven wrong so many times that there's no point in responding to the monkeys.
No, you're ignoring our rebuttals. You're ignoring our rebuttals. So you're saying there's no point responding. You're not responding, you're spewing rhetoric.
An equatorial mount points at the ground at nighttime when it's tracking the sun.
Who is this? Who is this guy? Is he in Discord?
I don't know. He's just reading off. He's reading off something, a list that he's got, but he can't actually back any of his baseless assertions when challenged by a rebuttal. He just ignores the rebuttal and moves on to his next piece of rhetoric that he wants to spew to bolster his fundamentalist religious belief in the rhetoric he is spewing, which is unchallengeable. This is zealotry, not a debate. Whenever I challenge something, he'll bring up a new baseless assertion that is being muted when he isn't.
Is he in
You can see the ISS
Discord?
yourself. And this
Oh
proves
my
gravity
God.
and orbits.
There's a new baseless assertion. At any stage, will you address any response that we give you?
Flat Earth has been proven wrong and over again. You have to
You're no longer part of this conversation, because it's not a conversation. It's you, a religious zealot, spewing rhetoric.
Nathan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is this guy in Discord?
Yeah.
I can't see. Who is it?
Gone.
Presumably
not
left
there
after
no
I
more.
server muted him.
Nah, he was still in there, but his icon wasn't lighting up. What was his name?
I don't know. I can't see. It's too
he's not
small.
in there no more.
I think it was rated in 2001.
You're in both Discord and Google Plus, Paul. A nice demonstration that there's virtually no delay, though, just in case any fundies come along and lie that there's massive delay between the two. There isn't.
I muted myself or got out of Discord.
So we've got religious fundamentalist zealots that come here to spew their rhetoric. They don't want to engage in us in debate. They're not interested in debate. They're only interested in asserting their fundamentalist religious assertions without challenge.
So
the same
with,
dude.
with Kosho, I don't understand. Kosho has joined the live stream, and Kosho, you're listening to the live stream, and then you're just typing, but you don't want to come on. I don't know. It's a bit confusing.
If he types, he doesn't verbally have to deal with any challenge to his rhetoric. It just gets dedicated to a text box. Head in the sand. It's either deal with our religious
Apollo asked us
zealotry.
to put voters on the way to the moon.
Oh, you're the same dude. I just server muted you. You just keep asserting religious zealotry. You're not actually addressing
Flat earthers
anything.
aren't smart enough to figure out
you
IT.
seem to be using the globehead mute button and talking through me. I'm pointing out for about the 5th time that you're not engaging anything I say. This that I'm stating now will not be addressed by a fundamentalist religious zealot. It will be ignored in favour of spurting and spewing further religious rhetoric. So you won't address this that I've just pointed out. You'll just spew new rhetoric because you're demonstrating how fundamentalist you have to be a sphere believer. Because what you say cannot be challenged. That's zealotry.
He's just playing pre-recorded.
SpaceX gave us a high definition live stream on a rocket launch of a car in the
Zealotry. Nothing we ever say to that will get addressed.
John, it's curmudgeon for your interest.
Yeah, Dungeon or whatever he is. That's his name in Discord.
Curmudgeon.
Curmudgeon, yeah, curmudgeon. Yes. He's there now, and now he's typing, and then he's saying, "Lol, they have to run away when they get outdone."
No, we didn't run away. We asked him what region the satellites were in. That was his first assertion. After a load of ad hominem attacks that I tried to quell by stopping the panel reacting to them. Finally, we got an assertion. Satellites prove the Earth's sphere. That was his first assertion. I asked him where the satellites were, and he moved on to his next piece of religious zealotry and spewed that. And when I pointed out, following his next assertion that wasn't addressed after his first assertion was addressed by me, he went on to spew a third piece and a fourth piece. This is zealotry. He can assert it and then say, oh, it's not allowed to be challenged. No, he challenged it. You just ignored the challenge because you are all globe-head fundamentalist religious zealots. Nothing you say can be challenged. If it is challenged, the challenge will be ignored in favour of the next piece of rhetoric you hold so dear to. Sad, pathetic. Science deniers and their rhetoric. It's all they have.
Yep.
And just for the Glover's knowledge, I got it up on my screen. NASA has this huge scientific balloon program, and I think back in the early years they used to call it the instruments they put on these balloons satellites, I believe. Didn't they do that? And they're one of the biggest consumers of helium in the world.
No, Sataloons, you mean?
No, not one of the biggest consumer of helium.
No, they actually called them satellites in the original beginning. They're calling them Sataloons now. But when they first started the program, they were called satellites.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you're right. Project Echo was one of them, if I recall correctly.
Got a new guest. Hey, I don't know what your full name is. Flat something. Hello?
Oh, yeah, it's me, Mind Warped.
Oh, pleased to have you, Mind Warped. You're a bit loud, by
Hey,
the way.
man, yeah.
You're a bit hot.
I was just...
Got about 5 minutes left, just so you know. Well, on the live show, stay tuned if you're watching. I'm Nathan Oakley.
Sure.
Is that it? Just a session of accept my rhetoric? That's the best the fundies have got to offer these days, is it? Accept my spewing rhetoric.
Yeah, they're just in another corner.
I don't know. It really didn't seem like an argument to me. I felt like he had literally recorded himself fluently speaking out the arguments, and he was just pushing buttons, but also sitting alongside of it to be able to give the answer to what's your favorite color. But he was basically just with a switchboard in front of him, pushing buttons, spewing pre-recorded rhetoric. That's exactly how it sounded. The tone was super consistent. He would talk over or right in the middle of people. So it was obviously pre-recorded what he was giving us.
Yeah, but won't you say that's the last thing they would do if they realize they're lost? They have no other opportunities.
Wrong, Arwen.
No.
That's how he talks.
Huh?
That's how he talks. He's a regular on the Discord. That's how he talks.
Yeah, but those messages were pre-recorded.
No, I don't think so. That's just how he talked. But nevertheless, that's not pertinent to the point, is it? Who cares? So it doesn't matter how he's delivered, what he's delivered. What he's delivered is rhetoric that is unchallengeable. No challenge allowed. Zealotry.
It just seemed like baseline talking points. There was no in-depth argument to any of it.
Exactly.
He was more reasonable yesterday at Discord 247.
Yeah,
But then he gave up debating.
Those are clearly the things he holds to in terms of his sphere religion. Now he wants to declare them, and then there be no challenge to them. Those things prove it. Now shut up, accept it. Let's move on. Well, what about my challenge to it? Next point.
Yeah.
Zealotry.
Shout out to Jose Mesa over there at 24/7 Flat Earth Discord 2.0. You rock, man.
That's a good point, Nathan. That flat earthers should be aware of, because I noticed when they debate flat earthers, they use these tactics to like move on, and it seems to work frequently.
Yeah, it's hard to keep on track when you're debating a religious zealot, because as soon as you get to a winning point, they'll rumpus the conclusion and move on. Then they can hold on to their zealotry that much easier. If they don't have to listen to your demolition of their argument, they basically go, la 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 la. Right, next point. Now, how do you deal with this bit of zealotry? Oh, you can deal with that too. La la la, let's move on to the next. And so it goes on. Just like that dude. The only difference with that dude is he had literally nothing to address any rebuttal. Only his religious zealotry. Excellent example of zealotry. I like it when that happens. Any more plugs before the live show rounds out? I'm going to definitely mute that.
Wars!
And with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who did tune in live on the Nathan Oakley 1980 stream, for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Stay tuned if you are watching on Nathan Oakley, as there will be an after show to follow. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
In a lower baller.
Hey kid, you want some gravity?
Yeah, exactly. That's how you do it. Or you talk about Back to the Future.
It's funny that they can see satellites with their own eyes and then ask where satellites are.
Or, well, you could, of course, offer them all kinds of ball-shaped candy. That might work.
It was me who asked where the satellites he was referring to were. He just didn't get an answer, which was the moment we concluded the guy was a zealot, because he couldn't address anything that was offered up in rebuttal.
Do you think they realize this, Alex?
Gravity.
What?
Quantum Eraser doesn't understand scientific method.
You just don't understand.
You don't understand me.
It's all a misunderstanding.
Yeah, you're just afraid, Quantum Eraser. You're afraid of the truth.
I actually made a video yesterday for all the dumbasses that claim you just don't understand. It's pretty good.
Are you still in the live chat, or are you in any of the Skype groups? Can you post it to me? I'll spam it when it goes out. When this goes out on Nathan Oakley channel, I'll spam your link. I didn't know you made videos.
Cool, I'll post it. I'll share it with you.
Thanks. Yeah, that's the only way we're going to grow. So I've said it before. I'll say it now. Overtly tell me if you've got a channel and you want it to grow, and you're making efforts to do so. I'm more than happy to spam these links. You know, I know it's come up in natural conversation in this regard, but as soon as I hear that, I want to spam the link to these channels, yours included. How do you say your name? Is Matthias or
Nathan Oakley is the black hole for retard.
Dude's problem. He just really needs to spew his rhetoric.
What? That moron is still going?
Yeah, he keeps coming in.
What the hell?
It's a pre-recorded bot. People
Coming
are
in.
having trouble believing me, but
Flat Earth is a vessel
He's just.
This is.
All right, do you guys want him muted, or do you guys?
Can't engage
Do you know who that is? You know what he's doing, Regis? Like, what's good?
I took care of him, but I thought you guys wanted to hear more.
Of what? He's not saying anything.
Well, it's late in the show. I don't know.
Saying a
Sometimes
few
he changes
words
his mind.
and. All right, I don't know.
Engaging us, so this isn't a platform to spew rhetoric. We have the door open for these people to come in so that they can be challenged and make their claims and challenge us. That's the whole point. Well, a challenge isn't coming in and saying, I believe the sky is a vacuum because NASA say sky is a vacuum, and we go, well, how does that work when it's a violation of a natural law? The horizon rises with... That's not a discussion.
Yeah, but Nathan, how can they anyway, after being obliterated with, I mean, look what Paul brought up in the previous show. How can they come after that and try and keep up their rhetoric? I mean, it's impossible.
Not impossible, just senseless.
It's sad that these guys got to come in here with tactics and voice changes and all this other crap instead of just actual proof for their claims. It's just nonsense. The globe has reached joke level.
Yeah, it has reached joke level. It's reached the point where this is the death rolls of the globe, and this is their only stance. What? Stick your head in the sand, come and spew rhetoric. Those are your defences. So there's a few fundies in the audience who are like, oh, it's terrible, no one's coming to debate. It's like, yeah, there's no debate in this subject. Earth is obviously and observably flat and motionless, and the only challenge is to come here and just declare that your belief and religion is true, that the Earth is a sphere because you say it is. And absolutely no challenge is allowed to that rhetoric.
Yeah. Welcome to the heliocentric carnival.
Hey guys, I just left you a little side chat.
Bit quiet now.
saw that, Mike.
You're a bit quiet now, Mind Warped.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying I left a few messages on the side chat.
Which one? The Master B? Oh, the side chat I haven't got access to.
Just in the side chat in the Hangouts.
Yeah, I don't have access to that if it's for me.
Oh, okay. Oh, I left some in Master B as well. I'm just rendering a final video and I'm going to send it to you guys. Because, yeah, I've deleted my channel and everything.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, no, it's. I reckon this subject, like, I reckon flat Earth is pretty much for me. Like, I think we've all done our jobs, and I'm going to move on, like, to other things. Just my personal thing, but like, you're my family, and I'm going to miss you guys. But yeah, I just want to go down a different avenue.
Like what?
Probably do more like a blog video thing, like more about me, not just on like one subject, like, but about a lot of things.
All right.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna warn you though. Flat Earth's not gonna go away. Just
I
so
know
you know.
that.
If
I know.
you think that you can just like step away from this, no. People are gonna keep on whining to your head about this, whether you think you're leaving flat Earth or not. Just
I'll still be hanging around here and there and everywhere, but yeah, I just deleted my channel because like I was on the 24/7 Discord, and it just I really didn't enjoy it there. There was just
you could have just left and not deleted your channel.
Yeah, it wasn't just that. I was just like, I wanted to start focusing on what my original plan was to do, but I just wanted you guys to know, like, you've like family to me, and I appreciate everything you guys have done, and you've all done such a good job at this. And you know, it's nothing to do with any of you guys. It's just something that I've got to do for myself. So, but yeah. If any of you guys are in Perth, like, make sure you hit me up, and I don't drink. We'll go and have a coffee. Or if I ever go to Europe, I'll come and see you, Nathan. We'll have a coffee.
Yeah, it's not
in Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah, Amsterdam as well. Yeah, we'll have a coffee and a joint, mate.
Cool.
Yeah, just keep updated with us, dude. Keep it
Yeah, man. I wish you luck, man, War, bro.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Sorry
man.
that you
Cheers.
deleted the channel, but yeah, man. I wish you
Yeah,
the best.
you know what it's like, eh? Like, it just takes a lot of your time. And like, when I've got 3 kids, 2 businesses, and like getting like hardcore into flat Earth, it just wasn't like you guys have
didn't-
pretty much covered all the bases, I reckon. And yeah, I don't think I have much more that I can contribute.
Right.
So,
Did you at least save the videos on your computer?
yeah, of course.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Because
Yeah.
you're gonna be very sorry in 10 years when you want to look back and it's all
No,
gone
I've
because you
still
felt
got
like
them.
deleting it. Just saying.
No, I always back up my stuff. Like,
All
I
right.
always have everything backed up before I upload it anyway. So
Good.
yeah.
Okay.
Just didn't mean to hijack your show for the ending there, but just wanted to wish you guys all the best.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you.
Same to you, brother.
Should have gave your channel to me.
I'm not gonna delete anything ever.
I really wanted to.
Of course.
I haven't deleted it all. I've still got it. Like, I just deleted the YouTube channel that was connected to my account. But like, I really wanted to be able to live stream, and like, I just couldn't get subs. Like, and yeah, I can't live stream until I
But
get to 1,000 subs. So
What?
I never got past 115 subs. So it's just like,
Yeah, dude, we could have worked on that very easily.
yeah.
I was on like 150 subs for almost 2 years. Okay. It's really when you start to advertise yourself and people help you out that you start to grow. It's really
Yeah.
dependent on that. You should have just asked us. You know?
Yeah. Well, I'll keep chatting to you guys in Master B anyway, but I'm just rendering this video, and then you guys will understand what it's all about.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fine.
I'll check it out.
As I was saying, I'm never going to delete anything. Not even episode 82, even though some people have like given me advice to.
But if it's okay with you guys, even though I probably won't be around a lot, I'd still like to keep in touch on Master B, if that's all good.
Yeah, man. All are welcome.
Oh yeah, by the way, guys, is this still being recorded, by the way?
Yep. Whoever's
Oh.
blowing down their mic, can you stop, please?
What was that?
Well, I will say one thing that really annoyed me, that kind of like put me over the edge, was like the amount of like globies that were coming in on the 24/7. Like, I have a really good ear for I'll never forget a face, and I can never forget a person's voice. Like, I don't even have to meet them. I can just hear their voice and I'll remember their voice. And I just could tell every single time a troll would come on who that person was, and I'll keep my mouth shut. But I even found out like Brenda, for one, like, she's not even who you guys think she is. Like,
I'm sure
like,
she's not, but I get it myself. Like, I recognize Jason McCormack
so
in
many
my
sick
chat, no
people.
matter what form he takes. Instantly, the first message he sends, he has to leave his trademark elements in there somehow, like almost like a creepy psychopath or something. But he's so recognizable instantly, no matter where
harmless.
it is. If he posts a message, I know it's him.
He's
Instantly.
harmless. He's completely harmless.
No, he's not.
Talk about the concave dude. Comes in and says Happy Concave Week every day.
That's pretty harmless.
Yeah, if that was all, he's just freaking annoying. I can't
He's
stand the
harmless.
guy. He doesn't
Right.
ever have any arguments. I even tried to engage in conversation. He's just incapable. Ugh.
Okay, not being able to engage. That's like the other dude, right? He's a bit of a zealot, but he's essentially harmless as far as I can tell. Jason McCormack, if he's the guy I'm thinking of.
A zealot can at least attempt to bring some arguments. Jason doesn't ever. Nothing. Not a single freaking thing. Literally no arguments.
Just clinging on to being unique because he's a concaver.
I don't care. It's a waste of space.
Fair enough, I can tell this Jason McCormack dude's really got under your nails, but fair enough.
Yeah. He'd actually behave more like a normal human being and just engage in conversation. I might actually be inclined to not have him banned for life. But yeah, as long as I'm going to recognize exactly who he is through his behavior, even though he tries to do his thing anonymously, yeah, I'm just gonna keep on banning him because it's just disgusting. It's trying to get somewhere where you're not wanted. That's just not good for anything.
Well, we can all agree it's not a sphere.
Anyway, yeah, Nathan, let me know when
That
you're...
T sound makes me want to go to the toilet. Like, you know, when you hear a waterfall or something. It's like, ooh.
No, that's just tea.
Your
Did any of
turmeric
you watch-
coffee? Is that what it is?
It's green tea.
Ah. I was actually like, a bit off topic, but I was watching a TED talk today, and it was about this guy talking about how like he drinks his own urine and does like urine fasts and stuff like that, and it's actually like really, really good for you. I didn't believe it, and then he started showing me all, like he did like a full write up, and like it was a professional like thing with scientists, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
And then he's like, did you actually realize that when you're in the womb, like your lungs form in the womb, like with the urine, like 90% of the embryonic fluid is like urine, and it's in your lungs all the time, and it's actually like why it's meant to be really good for you. But yeah, anyway, it's just,
Not exactly.
I'm
It's a multi-branch effect. It's a multi-branch effect. At one point,
you've got to
filter out processed microbes from your system.
Yeah,
On the other hand, you also
can't drink it if you're already sick.
Not good for
You've got to be healthy first. So he was saying like the way you do it is like you've got to get off medications, and then you've got to or then you've got to like do like a fast to get like all the like fatty proteins out of your body and stuff like that. Basically a juice fast, like preferably like watermelon for like 2 weeks or like a week, and then do the urine thing for like a couple of weeks. And I was like, really? People do this? It's a thing? It's like I couldn't believe it, eh? Your turmeric coffee just reminded me of it because I don't know.
Did he offer any scientific validity to his claims?
There is actually scientific validity to the claim, supposedly. Yeah, he mentioned on there that there were 5 meetings of like scientific communities in 1 year just based on the topic, that one topic alone, which is pretty fascinating.
Any experiments?
Yes, definitely.
So, yes, I think so. Yeah, I literally this was just today, but yeah, like I know for one, like because I do landscaping, and my hands get pretty calloused up, and I use a cream that has urea in it. Like I didn't even know it had urea in it until I looked at the back and it said urea. I'm like, what? There's piss in my my hand cream, but it like makes my hands really soft, eh? And it's like, so it must be something in it.
That's not really scientific validity.
Urea does that.
Oh God.
A lot easier just to go to the pub and have a beer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably better. Just unwind and have a beer.
Okay, I mean, what I'd say is try and find some scientific validity, some experiment that's been done to validate a claim cause of an effect. Excellent. Well, I'm glad that got dealt with.
I could do some digging in that because I'm pretty sure there is some, especially
Maybe.
relating to the.
He was just trying to end the subject, Darwin.
Oh, right, of course.
But Owen.
What?
Yes, okay. I just want to say you're doing some good footage with your video, dude. Your camera.
Thank you.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, it was interesting, especially that second shot. It's just a few seconds, but it was super clear. The moon. It was awesome. So yeah, if you haven't caught that, everyone in the panel here, it's on the Early Bird Show itself. I did another moon video, but it was just a snippet, and I actually showed it live, or well, not live, recorded on the Early Bird Show. So it was some really good shot of the full moon in there.
Good to hear.
So check out Early Bird Show 330. Whee!
Cool. I'm glad you're expanding your horizons on your show. That's good to hear.
Yeah. And there's an overhaul due to happen as well, thanks to things Adam Meakin has been fooling around with OBS. So
Nice.
yeah, the show might get a new look in the not too distant future.
Adam Meakin's been giving you a hand, has he? Excellent. So he's going
Yeah.
to polish up your show presentation. I'm pleased
He's
to
been
hear it.
super patient with me because I'm just such a picky, annoying guy.
Adam Meakin is basically fantastic. There's no other words for
He's
him.
the best. Adam Meakin is awesome.
Yeah, basically just an all-round good bloke.
Right. But he does snore, though.
That's not
He
really a
gets stuffed
criticism.
a lot.
Yeah, bodily functions. Yeah, I don't really care.
No, but he's ace. He's the best. And I thank him for having such patience with me.
It's good I didn't get a chance to tune in today on account of the fact that OBS had an update and it caused me a few delays, but I will check out 330, did you say, of the Early Bird Show on Arwin?
Yeah. That was today's show, 3:30.
Didn't Jaren once say he fixed his snoring and back problems by inclining his bed a little bit at the head? Something he learned off Dirth?
I think it was Dearth.
It was Dirth originally.
Yeah, Dirth did that.
Jaren tried
talks
it.
about that. It's like 5 degrees or something at the head of your bed.
Something like that. I'm not sure. I forget. Like
Who was
6 inches, 7 inches. I'm not sure.
Talking of Dearth, about a week ago, I can't remember who it was on the Discord server that was raising issues with, I think it was Flatulent Unicorn, Mark Sargent, Dearth, and there was someone else who I can't forget. It might have been Dave Murphy, I can't remember. But there was some criticism, and I explained that I would share the show once it was aired to all of them. So I did Bob Nodell. So I started a little group with Bob Nodell, Mark Sargent, and Dearth. I think I put Dave in there as well. I can't remember. And just shared the link and said, look, you're being talked about at length. I want you to see it. About a week later, in a different conversation, but with DITRH, I can't remember what the topic of conversation was, but it came up again. And he essentially explained that he does watch the show, quite frequently, in fact, and likes polishing up his arguments based on the arguments that are had here. So there's this, I know it was mainly about Mark, and this is Dearth's response, but he did definitely get mentioned and pulled in with this group. But he explained that he does definitely watch the show, and he is taking on board the arguments that are being had here, and it has assisted him in his arguments when he goes out into what is essentially mainstream. Now, Dearth doesn't make an appearance here, and who can bloody blame him? This is the trenches. It gets pretty dirty down here, and he's got to keep his nose clean. He's out in the big wide world of more professional mainstream media, let's just call it. So who can blame him? But by the same token, and I think this applies to more than just Dearth, there's people like Dearth who are watching and polishing up their arguments. I gave an example with Mark Sargent when this happened about a week ago, in terms of his gas pressure next to a vacuum argument, which has been massively overhauled by Mark. And it's not verbatim what we say, it's his own spin on it, but the argument, which I'm sure he was aware of, before this, he's just polished up his argument, and it's akin to our argument now. Now that, I said at the time, was only a positive thing, and that's been confirmed now, not by Mark, admittedly, but by DITRH. So for those like Flatulent Unicorn who say, well, why aren't they on the tip of the spear with us? Well, they are. They're watching. Doesn't mean that they're going to process every single argument and be able to weasel their way through every nook and cranny like we do on the fly when we have the fundies in the trenches here. But piece by piece, if they're watching, and it seems they are, then their argument's going to improve. And it's the same for any member of the audience. Dearth is an example that's actually specifically noted this because he got talked about on the show, which I was slightly uncomfortable at. Dearth's a mate of mine. But nevertheless, the audience are polishing up their arguments as a result of this show. It's good news.
Yeah, you got uncomfortable because you need to recuse yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I just got a message from somebody on Discord the other day who said the Nathan Oakley show is great. You guys changed the game for the debaters on the flat earth side. And I think that's pretty awesome.
It's very true.
Has he gotten the new argument?
Which one? Oh, no, stop it. Stop it. Come on. That's not an argument.
Ballers, come out and play.
Right, I've got a Spanish lesson shortly, so if anyone wants to plug anything, you've got about 4 minutes.
Yeah, tomorrow's show, I'm going to go ahead and redo the natural experiments, field experiments, and observational studies, along with toe tagging Cosray Charlie, the bankrupt astronomer, again, because that show was kind of had some technical difficulties. So we're going to do it again.
Okay, that was the first ever live show that you actually ran yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you've got a new computer. Everything should be much better. Yeah, he said it on the show itself, might rerun that. And I think it is worth doing it again.
And keep a weathered eye and a weathered ear out for spectroscopy coming up. It's gonna be a smash.
Looking forward to that one.
So although there's going to be...
It's funny...
just let me plug it properly, sorry. Just because there's going to be an imminent change. I'm going to change now, although it'll probably go out at 8 p.m, correct? But nevertheless, so Be Here or Be Sphere, 7 p.m. UK time on the Quantum Eraser channel. And it's 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's tomorrow, Tuesday, the 15th.
No, starting Wednesday.
Yeah, so starting Wednesday, it'll be 7 p.m. Tomorrow's will actually be 8 p.m. on the Quantum Eraser channel, but from there on after, if you're watching this after 24 hours time, then it's going to be 7 p.m. from now on. I will do a proper announcement at some stage that gives a new, more detailed structure. So essentially, it's just we're all moving back an hour, or in the case of me, 2 hours from my original time slot. So Quantum Eraser will be 1 p.m. Central Standard, 7 p.m. UK on a Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. The Ranty Flat Earth Roundtable / Chit Chat shows will go out, I believe, Monday to Thursday after the Flat Earth debate. So that's going to be at 10 p.m. UK time or 4 p.m. Central Standard, I think. Is that correct? 5 p.m. Central Standard. And then me, or Flat Earth Debate Uncut and After Show, will typically go out on weekdays on Nathan Oakley channel. That's the second channel, the one you're watching on now. And that will go out at 8 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's, if I do it in Central Standard Time, so it's 1 p.m. Quantum Eraser channel, 2 p.m. Flat Earth Debate Uncut and After Show, weekdays on Nathan Oakley, and then 4 p.m. No, I was right the first time. Ranty Flat Earth Roundtable on the Ranty Flat Earth YouTube channel. I'll do a proper, what's it called? I'll do a little spreadsheet, put it on an advert, and put it all out so it's a bit clearer, and just do that summary a little bit more concisely.
So I'll devil's advocate a spherist right now. An argument I've been hearing really frequently as of recent is only a spherical model of the Earth can predict retrograding of planets or luminaries, and there's no explanation or description for.
Is that a scientific prediction?
No.
Then we don't need to hear it.
Beat me to it.
Yeah, I'll just pull that apart before I round out this after show. So I'm parroting what you said the other day, Quantum Eraser. If you watch a clock go round and round and round and round for 10,000 years, and you predict that the hour hand after going to the 12 o'clock mark will hit the 1 o'clock mark, and then you say that that's based on your reification of a sphere model, that prediction, does it make it a prediction that proves the sphere? No. You've watched something cyclical, decided when it's going to happen, and then said that this is happening in relation to a model. Doesn't prove anything.
Based on a philosophy of yours that you just conjured up. How does I'm missing the connection between the philosophy or the paradigm and your prediction. That's another big problem because it has nothing to do with science whatsoever.
Does that answer your question?
For the most part, yeah. Hands on a clock, you know, depending on where you're looking at it from. Say if you're like a small figure at the 6 o'clock position and you're looking towards the clock, you know, looking towards the 12, and you see the hour hand coming towards you and then going away from you, that kind of shows.
No, that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about cyclic repeats. Cyclic repeats are not predictions, right? You're not predicting anything. You're just watching cyclic repeats. That's not a prediction. It's not even a prediction in colloquial language, and it's definitely not a scientific prediction.
Perfect. And with that, I'll say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who did tune in on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. A massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this after show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!